Unpopular opinion.
Hi everyone and welcome to this segment of Kopi with Chris. May 1st, 2020, Labor Day. The Star Association Singapore delivered along with some of the powerhouses from the events and entertainment industry in Singapore the first ever virtual entertainment show. It was called The Star Show. And this was a tribute to all of our frontliners and essential workers. My Kopi Kakis on my show today played important roles in organizing, and some also performed at the Star Show, all from their own living rooms. So we're going to bring them on right now. And the first of my Kopi Kakis, as you can see, is appearing on the screen. Hi. Hey, morning, dude. That's the president for the Star Association Singapore, and he says the chief coolie, actually he's the boss, of TPP Private Limited, Sheldon Gooi. Welcome to Kopi with Chris, and good seeing you, bruh.
Thank you.
Have you got your Kopi not? Huh?
You hear in the background, it's getting...
it's getting roasted, you mean?
No lah,
Our friend got filtered coffee or what?
Nespresso only,
Nespresso, huh? Yeah, we got the rest are coming on board. The rest of our guests as well. All my kakis are coming in. So basically, we've got questions for each and every one of you.
Okay.
Yeah, some are going to be kind of tough, but we really hope for honest answers.
Sure.
Yeah, as honest as can be. You know what I mean? Don't be shy about it.
Wow.
Don't be coy about it, basically.
We'll try. Don't be. That's why I said yesterday, be nice, right?
I am nice, man. I'm always nice. Just wanna hear real things, things that's really, really happening, because I'm also in that world of yours. But let's bring this out into the open. That's really what I'm looking forward to. Yeah.
I think generally the idea also important to kind of try to be positive about things.
Sure.
Rather than sort of trying to kind of I would say a lot of bad news. I think there's enough bad news going on already.
Sure, but then again, as we all know, that the world will not be the way it was post-COVID,
sure.
Right? And if we could make things better for everyone, it'll be great. Cheers, mate. Yeah, it'll be great. So as far as I see it, I think let's bring this out into the open. Let's put it out there so that hopefully things can improve for everybody as we come out of this crisis. We can't call this a crisis. It is a crisis. The thing is that the state of the events industry, I mean, across the board, not just for artists, also for guys like you, you're in the audiovisual lighting industry, the event organizers as well, What was it like before circuit breaker? What was the state the industry was in your own words, and as far as the association, the industry body sees it?
I actually think the industry you could say is, because this is just a kind of a break. So it's actually in a very good place. Although most people would tend to focus on the issues that are within the industry, I think there were more upsides than issues.
Okay.
It wasn't to say that the industry was broken. I think if you take a big picture perspective and understand that there were multiple events going on every single day.
Right.
All sorts of events, where you wouldn't have a ballroom that you could get 2 days of setup for free, because within those 2 days there could have been 5 or 6 events. You could have a conference, then a dinner, and then a breakfast meeting, and then something in the evening or something like that, which points actually to a very healthy industry. Someone joining in.
Okay.
The shop now, this guy is pro, man.
Yeah, look at the microphone. Look at that microphone. And who do we have? We have the people's MC and one hell of a magician, Ravin. Welcome. Good to see you, bro. What's up, man? I love the mic.
What's up? How's it going? Hey. Hi, Chris, and Sheldon. Good morning, guys.
Good morning, dude. How you doing, man?
I'm good. Cheers.
Oh, you got your cuppa as well, huh?
Yeah, got to.
I gotta get me that microphone. Excuse me, producers looking in right now. I want that microphone.
This is just my own little DIY project. It's a cheap Zoom recorder. That's now my computer audio. My computer microphone, and it sounds amazing. I love the way it sounds.
And we like to say a good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening to our entertainer, MC, actor, household name in Singapore, all the way from USA, talking to us, having Kopi with us, Moe Alkaff. Good to see you, Mo.
The youngster among us.
The youngest amongst us. The youngest amongst us, man. How you doing,
Mo.
bro?
I've got the colors to prove it.
How you guys doing?
Well, we're good, man. Are we catching you on a late hour in the US?
Yeah, for me it's late. It's already 8:30. I gotta go to sleep.
Good night, Mo.
You gotta get on Netflix, man.
No. Say good night when you have to. We're done, man. Don't go away yet. But thanks for coming on with us, Mo. I mean, we know the time difference and all that, but thank you for being with us.
No problem. It's only actually 8:30, so no biggies.
And it's kind of early. You don't have to go and take your beauty sleep that early, right? I mean, come on.
Mo would usually sleep at 2 a.m.
Netflix, right?
The later I sleep, the more gray will come out.
No, I know what you're doing. You're trying to watch the metabolism, right? That's the reason why you need your minimum 8 hours. I know that, man. I just know that. Yeah. But anyway, Sheldon's got more white hair, so don't worry about it. So.
Mine's fashion. You gotta be unique.
Yeah,
I'm not even going to ask him whether he's having coffee because it's nighttime there now, right? So he can't sleep. We got someone coming on.
I'm having lemon water.
Lemon water. Ooh, detox too.
Nice.
Okay, we've got another Kopi Kaki with us, and it's KP Sandhu, actor, entertainer, and natural born thriller.
Welcome. Where is he? I don't see him though.
You don't see him? There he is. Hey, KP, how's it going, man?
Hello guys, what's up? How are you doing?
We're good. Hey, thanks for being around. Thanks for being here.
I have absolutely nothing to do, so nothing to thank me about. Don't worry.
I mean, I still have this. To me nowadays, this is called work. So I'm still working. Yeah.
Cheers.
I was talking to Sheldon earlier on in his capacity as the president of the Star Association. And of course, being in the industry, I mean, the two of us, Sheldon and I, we go back ages. My goodness gracious me. I mean, ages, man.
How many years are we talking about?
Oh, God. That was about 96 till now.
Wow.
Around there.
I was like a 7-year-old boy running around, in 1995.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Jeez, that makes me feel sad because at 1995 I was an old man already.
Oh no, you weren't. You were just older. That's all.
You were acting old.
You were in Gotcha.
Yeah, was that about Gotcha time? Right?
Yeah, it was Gotcha, right? Wasn't
it?
Yeah, it was that time, man. Yeah. That was the Moe Alkaff, man. Gotcha. Jeez. Yeah. Dude, and people like me would say, when I grow up, I want to be like you.
Mo, just last week when they played the movie that you were in, my dad was like, hey, that's that guy with the curly hair on Gotcha, right? And that's when I was like, hey, Mo, bro, you're on TV, man.
Yeah, I remember those days when I used to even walk in the mall, me and my wife and my newborn kid, and then there'll be people who just come up straight to my face and say, "Oh, Gotcha!" How do you react? My baby starts crying, and my wife just say, "Come on, let's go for a walk. Come on."
Hazards of occupational hazard, bro. Occupational hazard, huh? Yeah, but as I was saying,
okay, looks good. Coffee, cheers.
Yeah, Kopi, cheers, everyone.
Cheers, everyone.
Right, man. Cheers.
KP, where's your
KP, no coffee, yeah.
I'm not really a coffee guy. I'll get my beer. Hang on.
Talk about early, boy.
Masala chai.
Masala chai, yeah. Okay. Yeah, yo.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a family show, no day. Well, anyway, I was saying, Sheldon and I, we go back a very, very long time, and when the two of us talk, there's no need for us to mince any words, yeah. So, I mean, dude, we've known each other like forever. There's no need for us to, So I was asking him, in his capacity as president of the Star Association. How was the state of the industry pre-circuit breaker or pre-COVID? Yeah. And he said earlier on, and it's already been shot into this show, so I might as well just repeat what he said without asking him to say it again. And he said, the industry was actually... Don't need lie. It's already been recorded. You know, I got to leave it to the producers to poor thing to do post-production, but never mind. The thing is that Sheldon said that the industry was in a good place. You have multiple shows in a day, right? Things couldn't actually be better. Am I right to say that, Sheldon?
Yeah, okay, I tell you what, let me jump in because there's a few ways to look at it. You have to look at the big picture in terms of the industry. As it
Sure.
Where, and then you look at how the industry actually relates to an individual practitioner within the industry. Right. And being an events industry, you know, we actually move along with disruption, where the digital age became a big worrying factor for many businesses. A lot of the industry actually embraced digital disruption. And digital was coming into events where people were doing video conferences as part of events, bringing in people from overseas. You had starting even with like digital magic with the iPads and stuff like that. So we've been a very resilient industry. And the fact that as an events industry, we thrive on the human basic need for being with each other. And therefore, in Singapore, you have a situation where from corporate to entertainment to private events, there was literally multiple events every single day.
Right.
There was not a day where you could get everybody within the industry together because somebody invariably would be working and be making money, you know. So generally, if you look at it from that point of view, then as an industry, it is actually a very thriving industry, an industry that was growing. But I don't mean to whitewash it because at the end of the day, an industry that does well also means that you will lead to problems where there is relatively little barrier to entry. Anybody could become an event company overnight. Not everybody was practicing good business practices, fair ethics when dealing with the clients or dealing with people whom they hired to work. You know, so it was then generally that sort of scenario where you have an industry that is growing, and then you have people who come in who are not so, maybe not so savvy with how to do business and not managing the cash flows properly. And then you have issues with payments. You have issues with non-delivery to the clients, of saying, yes, we can deliver all of this within this budget, and then go back and realize, I didn't realize it would cost me money to hire somebody to do this. And then shortchange the client. So over time, what happens is then a lot of the clients would then view the industry as a little bit fly by night because you have players within the industry who would overpromise and underdeliver. And then they would then have to shortchange the performers, the crew, the freelancers, the vendors that were within the industry and say, bro, we have no budget. It's not that there's no budget, you didn't manage the budget properly. But that's not to say it's prevalent in the whole industry because you have the companies that are setting really great examples. Then you have those that perhaps are not doing so well. And this pervades through all sectors of the industry because again, you have performers, maybe those on stage who are more prominent performers, MCs perhaps, who would get out there because there was so much work, they get tired after a while, and you then have to see whether everybody was actually delivering top quality work. Because you could get people who would do 4 shows a night and would get on stage and say, good evening and welcome to Eng Kwat Soon D&D.
Yeah.
Like, dude, if you're going to date a girl, at least find out her name, right? If you don't know her family history, at least know who you're performing to. And then you say, are we really paying you 1,500 to come on stage for half an hour when you don't even know who we are, you know? And of course, you know, so there are many ways to look at it. And I think it's not really a case of was the industry black or white, right? There's many areas within. But the good thing is Star Association came about at a point where we realized there were people within the industry who, because of these situations, could possibly be taken advantage of. Now, I wasn't the one who formed the industry. I'm the current president. But the fact that the industry is doing well means that we did actually have a lot of difficulty getting people to come on board because a lot of people didn't feel the need to belong to an association. It was like, my phone is ringing off the hook. I'm rejecting more gigs than I'm getting gigs. You know, what can an association do for me? But we did see those areas, and those were the gaps that we needed to fill, where generally across a longer timeline, could we do something to elevate the industry standards? Could we do something to educate clients better about how do you determine what kind of event agency you're working with? How do you evaluate the people? And this is not easy, right? Because like you said, like I said, there's no really barrier to entry. If you come in, you have some photos, you have a nice video, you can promote your company, you can promote yourself. So it was really looking at the gaps, things like insurance for freelancers, things like legal education. So if you said, well, I wasn't getting paid after I did my gig, did you have a contract? Did you know how to do? Did you understand getting into an agreement with somebody who's going to pay you and protect yourself? So we've actually already run 4 legal smart classes, basic half-day courses to kind of help people understand in terms of the law what contracts were. Most people were saying, I heard this like that, you can't do this, you can't use WhatsApp, you have to have a long 15-page document and that kind of thing. You know? So we try to demystify that with short classes. Again, up and down with the attendance on those because everybody was busy. And we work very closely with NTUC actually to try and roll out programs. We've done some training in the past with rigging because that isn't sort of a nationwide approach. So therefore, we had to run those courses ourselves. We've run twice Rigging 101 because we found that most AV crew, when they get in and they hang a truss overhead, they do what their seniors have taught them. Nobody actually knew what was right, what was actually safe. You know, nobody actually studied engineering. They just knew that if my senior did this, I did this, and the truss didn't fall by the end of the show, I think we're okay. You know, so it was easy for anyone to make a mistake. So that was the approach going forward.
But Sheldon, you know, picking up on what you said earlier about people who don't deliver what they promise, you know, has Star Association actually thought, or I don't know if you're doing it, I hope you are, modeling the association according to other association bodies as well in other sectors, other industries? For instance, in the banking and finance industry, there's this particular rule that was handed up because there's a regulator, right? And the regulator cascaded this down to the industry bodies, and the rule is just simply called fair dealing. Okay, fair dealing with customers, where certain outcomes must happen. Okay, there could be 5 or 6 ideal outcomes that must occur. And I suppose that in order to not have a stat board coming in to regulate, which really, in my opinion, don't, the association should then show that they can be the ones to do it, and maybe this is one way to move forward, you know, where certain fair dealing outcomes can be actually put in place. But I thank you for your candor. I really appreciate what you guys have been doing, you know, the trusting work and all that. But certainly more can be done. And it's difficult because the association is new. Yeah, to a lot of viewers out there, the Star Association is only how many years old, Sheldon, at this time? Well,
technically we're not new. I think we start now the 5th year of existence.
It's kind of new still.
Yeah, kind of new. But I will, if you look back in terms of, you know, where you and me, maybe more the not so younger ones, and where this industry was, you know, you talk about days when Victor Koo was on stage, when Larry Lai was doing shows. That's the kind of generation we're talking about, where Hamish was a young guy, right? Some of the youngsters may not even know these names, but those were the legends in my time. And generally 5 years compared to how old the industry is as an events and entertainment industry, then yes, you could say it's young. But yeah, I hear you, and definitely this is something that we have been discussing within the association. And we have realized this is a really quite a monumental task because number one, unlike many other trade associations, our association is very multidisciplinary because we cover an industry sector that needs so many trades to come in. The issue we are having now, again, dealing with government agencies, is who actually can help us? Because some people say this is maybe we are partly tourism, but the guys who are out there in the neighborhoods doing road shows, there's nothing tourism about that.
Yeah.
But if you're doing a conference and you have delegates from 15 countries, well and good, you're a MICE industry. So then the MICE industry applies to some of us. And a lot of us could be one day working in the MICE industry, one day maybe performing on stage, then you're sort of a arts industry, another day, let me do a corporate video or an advertisement because of my talent, I can do that. Even a tech crew can do that, an agency can do that. Then you're sort of media. So we're not really well defined, and not because we don't know what we're doing, but it's because we can do so much. We can do so much without being in one particular sector, so to say. So that's why we needed to come together, because we don't really fall under any sector, and therefore it becomes like you said, Chris, it's a good and bad thing because we don't really have any regulatory control over us, which then would also become quite tricky.
Okay, so since Sheldon has said that, I just want to make it clear to all viewers, and especially anyone from the IMDA watching, no, we don't welcome you to be our regulator. Thank you so much. Okay, so I want to put it out there, man. This is going to be a free-flowing industry as well, you know?
Yes. No, it's not that. It's not that we don't. I think you're absolutely right to saying that that's where the industry association role is, to be able to build up the standards within the industry. So as a grouping, we can then also address the buyers and say, look, you're going to get a good quality because we are able to do this for our industry. Again, maybe one step down from having regulatory controls and rules, so to speak, is a little bit more the idea of guidelines within the industry. But having a guidelines document, so to speak, is not really us just saying this are the 1 to 10 you have to checklist. There's a whole process to make sure that it stands up to scrutiny.
It will have to include working committees and town halls and multiple town halls.
We actually already started exploring this. We're expecting a 2 to 3 year process. To get it done, to get it validated, to get it have the buy-in of the industry, and as well as the buy-in of the buyers who are buying the events services.
Yeah.
So I would say, probably the COVID-19 situation has sort of shifted our focus to really trying to bring immediate help to people during this situation. So definitely that's going to be the task that we take on. And I'm going to take this opportunity to reach out to more people who are watching and say, if you feel convicted that this is something you can do, I would encourage you to step up. It's not something that we need to do on a full-time basis. All of us in the association are volunteers, but it really definitely helps to have more people able to sit down and work on small bits and pieces of this project, rather than a couple of people trying to fit in a massive project within our already busy work days. So it's really about how the industry can help ourselves. The association is just there as a platform to facilitate. So it's really those of you who feel it's time to give back, there's something you can contribute in helping us build the industry for a better future. That's really what I hope to see happen. I've always told my committee, where do we see that we have made our mark? And that is the day when some of you have children, and your children coming out of school and saying, it's time for me to go into the workplace. And maybe I would like to be an engineer, maybe I would like to be an entrepreneur, maybe I would like to join the events industry. And a parent can confidently say to their child, well, manufacturing is not really the thing in Singapore. Don't be an engineer. Go to events. It's respected, it pays well, it has a future. That is the day we make our mark.
Guys,
is that going to happen in 2021? Is that happen in 2022? No. It's a long journey.
Yeah, I want to tell you what happened for 2 years. Okay, 2 years consecutively. My kid's school. I sit on two industries. Yeah, those of you who know me well, you know what they are. And I actually represented the events and entertainment industry at the school career thing, and it was for P6s, you know. It was for P6s. I think I was pretty awesome, you know. But you know what I heard from the kids around when they come around in blocks, and then I introduced to them the world of entertainment? My goodness gracious me. Mommy and daddy says, don't be a bum. Yeah, I get all that, you know, and it's not isolated to one, two of the kids. It's quite a bit of them. The average sentiment their parents have of people who get behind a microphone or people who entertain. Sure, please, it's open.
Because this is so interesting that you guys are saying this. I'm going to give you something similar, but which is so true. Forget about even the kids. The kids, I understand the parents tell them that this is a true story. The first time I'm going to reveal this on camera. So I'm Indian. Okay, that's not the revelation. You know that. Okay, so I'm Indian and I'm 36 this year. I'm going to be turning 36 next month. Okay, so I'm still not married. So by Indian standards, that's already considered unconventional. Kyle, you understand, right?
Yes, totally, yeah.
So what my mom has done is, behind my back, because she knows that I don't like being matchmade. Matchmade is a big thing in the Indian community.
I know where this is going.
You know where this is going, right?
I totally know where this is going.
Discussion roughly before. And she's gone behind my back. She's tried to introduce me by my photo or whatever to some other family. And then at first they're like, oh, okay, yeah, because it's always a suited up photo, so I look professional and all that. The minute they hear I'm an entertainer or an MC, the whole deal breaks through. Yeah, and I'm not bothered. I'm really not bothered, because if they don't understand that, I don't even want to be associated with somebody like that. But my mom comes back crestfallen. See, I told you, you should have been doing a proper 9 to 5 job. If you were doing that, today you'd be married. So it's not even just about educating the kids. It's about educating you know where this is going. So I just thought I should let you guys know.
You know, the girl before I got married to my wife, the girlfriend I had, I broke up with her. That's one of the reasons, because her parents couldn't accept the fact that I go on stage, right? And eventually I married my event coordinator. We've been married 19 years. Yeah. Sheldon knows her.
That is the best event coordinator, bro. You already know.
Now she coordinates your life. It doesn't get better than that, right?
Well, yeah,
but guys, although this is maybe not so great news to some, you know, that we have now the government rolling out a scheme for self-employed, and there are some restrictions on the value of your home, your income and all that. And there are people who are a little bit upset because the fact that they've been making good money means they don't qualify for this assistance. And they say, you know, in the bad times we have zero income. Why are we being disqualified just because we've had a good run in the past? We've been able to keep ourselves going with a above average lifestyle.
Yeah.
And you know, it's not nice to hear, but think about it, take 2 steps back and think about it. It actually means that people within our industry can have sustainable careers, are not scraping by. They are actually doing well. There are people who are now, I've been doing this and I can't qualify because I earn too much. I can't qualify because I live in a landed property. It's above the value of the property the government has set. I can't qualify because my spouse is also earning enough money. So there are actually many people having decent, well-paying careers in the industry.
So this is where the meritocracy doesn't work.
So that's what I'm saying, you know. So I think the good thing also is that there has been a lot of assistance from people within the industry to link us up. We've been out in a couple of newspaper articles. Carl has been on TV. Some people have gone out there just to bring more awareness to the events and entertainment industry. That is not something you do because you can't find a job. It's something you do because you have a passion. And because it's passion-driven, you always invariably do better at what you're doing, because you're not doing it for the sake of putting money on the table. You're doing it first because you love what you do. And then the upside then is because you love what you do, you get paid a fair remuneration and you sustain a lifestyle. You know?
What is the situation now You know, now that we're in circuit breaker, we've been in circuit breaker for a month. We've got another month to go. Yeah. I also like to hear from Moe, you know. First, Singapore. Sheldon has said, and I'm sure all of you can agree, and I know you guys have been busy. We're busy before with multiple shows, right? Prior to circuit breaker. So what's happened now to each of you since it started, including for Moe in the US?
Well, as for me, you know, I don't do any events here since I moved out of Vegas and into Colorado. So my business is still in Singapore, and yeah, we travel a lot. We travel all over the world. And, until this year. You know, this year, there are like at least 12 countries that I won't be performing in, other than Singapore, you know, so because they were all canceled. But here's my deal, you see. I mean, look at how much we suffered. We got MC, DJ, actors who cannot get married at the age of 35. And then cannot even have a proper girl, cannot marry your girlfriend, so have to marry your coordinator. Not say your coordinator not hot floor, you know. But and then we pay our damn taxes every bloody year. Over and above that, when the government needs events, when they need a National Day Carnival, when they need, you know, a May Day rally,
In Singapore.
who do they look for? Who do they look for? They look for us. I mean, it's crazy that we are not recognized in this industry. You know? We should be recognized because we are the first people. They will need to spread the message around, their messages. They also need us for many, many things. How can we be forgotten and swept under the carpet?
Kyle, you remember, Kyle, there was once we ever said, I think I said this practically almost every time I you know, when we, back in the days we were teaching.
Yeah.
Past tense already, yeah. I don't know whether you caught that. Okay, so, and we always say this, you know, that back, I think 2013, $1 billion was introduced to be pumped into the arts in Singapore. And the question always been, Singapore is likely the only country that says, oh, we support the arts, but nobody ever says the arts and entertainment.
Can I chime in, Chris?
Sure, please.
I've had this issue practically all my life. So I'm just going to give you my backstory, right?
Sure, man.
Started magic at a really young age. Like 7 years old, I was doing magic. Had a weird childhood. So while all the kids were out there playing soccer, I was a loser sitting down, playing with cards and doing tricks and trying to be happy and making people happy. Fast forward to when I finished my NS and I want to enter the industry, I keep feeling the sense that I did not get the support that I needed from the big government bodies, you know, and these are the bodies that are saying, hey, you know, we want to support you. We're all in for the arts. And at that time, I was not an MC yet. I was just doing magic. And I realized that in the eyes of mainstream society, the arts was purely just song and dance. And yeah, maybe theater as well. And what happens to alternative art, like magic? Magic is such a strong discipline that people, you know, you go behind that for years and you hone your craft and you practice and you go for competitions and da-da-da-da-da. But, you know, at the end of the day, it just gets forgotten. Like I've got friends that are puppeteers, and even puppeteering is such an art. It's not something you just do and go, oh, hello, I'm a puppet. There's so much to it, you know. But we just never got that support. So when I had my own show in 2012, I was trying to book, I booked the Substation, and I wanted to get an arts grant. Now, this was a full 90-minute magic theatrical show, and I had song in it, I had dance in it, there was a story behind it as well. When I reached out for funding, magic did not qualify under arts. So that's something that I've always had an issue with. And like when you see mainstream shows, I am not dissing singers, I am not dissing actors, I'm not dissing dancers. But let's look at a mainstream show like, say, the Countdown Party out there. Yeah. You're seeing only the same set of artists, which is artists who can sing, artists who can dance, artists who can rap, and this one popular face on TV. That's it. What happened to all those other entertainers that have got so much more talent? You know, so it's not just the events industry per se. It's people with specified a niche talent. I'm going to just digress and just jump in and say one more thing. I'm going to keep it really quick. On the topic of what we earn, before Circuit Breaker, there was a wrap-up party for a show that I was on for TV. So usually in TV, every time we have a production, at the end of the whole production, we will have a wrap-up party. KP would know this. So I was at the wrap-up party, and there were many different artists there. And there was I'm going to use this very loosely. There was a veteran TV actor.
Right.
Okay, who came up to me and says, "Hey, you know, I've seen your work on TV and I've seen you on stage. What do you actually do for a living?" And I go, "I'm a full-time entertainer lah. Like this is what I do. I'm an MC. I do magic. I host events. That's all I do." And I swear to God, this is coming from a veteran entertainer. He came up to me, literally went, "Can you make money ah?" And I was like, "Huh? First of all, that's so weird to ask someone like straight to their face, like, can you make money? Second of all, you're an artist yourself. Why are you asking another artist, can make money? And is it because you're a struggling artist? Or is it because MC event? Really? 21st birthday lah. Like, is that all we are able to do? 21st birthdays and weddings? Like, dude, wake up, man.
Yeah.
Okay, rant over. Back to you, Chris.
You are spot on, Kyle. You are spot on.
But, you know, is this the reason? Okay, Singapore, as you guys have all said, you know, the support for entertainers in Singapore isn't really great. Okay. Is that the reason why, Mo, you've been traveling, or you live in the US and you've been traveling doing shows? And KP, I know that you've been on the Bollywood block as well, right? Is that the reasons? Is that the reason why you guys decided to also venture away from our shores?
Well, go ahead, KP.
No, thanks, Mo. Actually, no. For me, it's not the reason. I've always, and actually, I've had a chat with Mo about this at an event a couple of years ago. We were finally getting to know each other, and I'm going to let you guys know as well. The Bollywood thing actually has got nothing to do with the fact that there might be a lack of recognition or the lack of ability to earn money. I've always harbored a dream to become a Bollywood star.
Right.
So that's something that I've always wanted to do since I was young. It is the most difficult process in the world. Like, this would need another Zoom meeting for me to just tell you the story about what it's like to come from here to there, and there is not even there yet. There is closer to here. So it's a long one. But no, I didn't digress because of that. And having said that, I am not going to digress because of this. Because Kyle is right. What Kyle has just brought up is that syndrome about, can make money. And 21st birthday and weddings. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm just gonna push the envelope right now. It's a very Indian thing. That this 21st birthday and a wedding thing, and the person asking, can you make money? The way Kyle imitated this veteran actor, I can tell you this guy is Indian. What I got?
Fist bump, bro. Fist bump.
This is the mentality. And let me tell you, being Indian, I'm proud to be Indian, but I'm also very proud to be Singaporean. And I'm not saying this because I have to. I honestly do mean this. Of course, doing what we do, being an Indian and being a part of an industry which is very racially diverse, yes, the struggle might be a different one. And this is a fact. Not everything comes on a silver platter for you. But I like the struggle. I like the challenge. I've banged a lot of doors to get here. I've taken people like Mo as my inspiration, or a Justin, or many other MCs in the market right now. And I've just put my horns on my head and I've gone through. So I've really struggled a lot to get here, as many of us have. So am I just gonna leave this just because the going gets tough? No,
well
definitely
done.
not. Yeah.
Oh, I love that, man. Because I feel the same way. I've always said I'm never going to be quitting a country just because it's getting a little tough for us. It's how we want to make the change and how we want to see things, and that's absolutely ace, KP.
Yeah.
Well done, man. Love that. Yes, Sheldon.
but I'd like to also jump in that I'm not saying that that's the kind of thinking, but with a lot of people who are just thinking, let's just sit and wait it out, and I love this industry. I'm just waiting to get back into the industry. I would like to also caution that this is a very big shock to the entire world, not just our industry. Almost like a war, So a lot of people are likening it to like the Great Depression. And I think the world will be a little bit different by the time we come out of this. So it's really not enough for everyone to sit and say, I'm going to dig my heels in and wait till the storm passes. You really need to think about how to pivot. I'm not talking about people who are looking at part-time jobs, the guys who are working on Grab food, the guys who are doing deliveries. That will tie you through in the short term. That's your agility and versatility. But do you go back to business as usual when we are out of this situation? Are events going to look different? Do you need to deepen skills? Do you need to add on skills relevant? I'm not talking about saying, if I'm an entertainer today, I want to become I don't know, maybe I should drive trains. Or if I'm, totally changing your career. No, I'm not advocating that. But is what you know and what you do enough?
I think what you mean is innovate. You got to innovate the things you do.
Take this time to develop yourself. Look at two ways. We in the association, we're moving these buzzwords around about deep skilling and upskilling. So deep skilling is going deeper into what you already know. Can you improve the skills and your ability? And then upskilling is adding on things that are relevant to your skill set now. Can you learn additional skill sets that complement what you already do? Even if you're on stage, even if you're a backstage guy, even if you're an agency, there are so many people struggling with going digital because of now the constraints of events. After circuit breaker, you're not going to get into a ballroom with 500 people.
Yeah.
You're going to be stuck with 10 people. Can you still do a show? You may be able to go on stage with no audience. Can you deliver now to camera? Can you work within those constraints? Do you have skills to market yourselves in that domain? So it's really not about just sitting still and having that resolve that I will come back after this is over. Because after this is over, whatever comes back is going to look different. And we need to build on that right now. This is the time to innovate and develop yourself. That is really the thing that we have to, all of us.
Mo, what's your thoughts, Mo?
Well, I kind of agree with Sheldon that we are going to come out, but we would land somewhere else. Things are just not going to be the same. I feel that what he says about bettering yourself, bettering, that's such a word, improving yourself, I think that's really, really important, because if we don't, we won't be prepared for what's coming on in the future. I think at this point in time, every MC, every performer, every singer, everybody who's going to be ending up on stage, I'm just talking about the entertainer side, need to, one, self-improve, of course, yes. Two, learn another skill. I think that's so important. A skill which we need for backup. I think now we all kind of learn our lesson, especially if we don't have other skills. We're like, oh my gosh, this is happening. What else am I going to do? I don't know what else to do with my life. So finding another skill is so important, like, learn how to edit video or design stuff, or, do something that you can exchange online, send your designs online, send your skills online. A lot of stuff are going to be done online, but one thing about entertainment and being live, I mean, just look at concerts and stuff like that. People still need to see you live. People still need to feel the ambience. People still need to hear that sound. That's where your adrenaline goes. You could be sitting down and watching a video on your phone. It's not the same as being there live. So somehow or other, I hope and I pray that our bodies can fight the COVID. We have to learn to live with it. We just got to get stronger inside. And yes, it is like a war. There will be people who's going to die. Hopefully none of us or anybody close to us. But I think we need to be stronger and fight this COVID. Otherwise, frankly, entertainment is going to be so different, and it won't be personal anymore.
You know, in disruption, there's always opportunity. I guess guys like Moe, and the generation of the ex-geners, Sheldon, myself, we've been through, you're ex-gener, dude. Hello. Don't deny it. Don't deny it.
No,
we one generation has been through.
Sheldon, if you comb your hair the other way, maybe the black will show more.
I was thinking about that too. Right? Could it happen that way? But you know, we are generation, ex-geners, we are generations that's been through the most economic crisis. We went through SARS in 2003, right? We went through so many disruptions. But one thing I think it's safe for me to say for most of us would be, look, we found opportunity every time when we are in a crisis. That should always be the stand we all should take. Yeah. And yes, Kyle?
Never mind. I think you finish first, then I'll ask.
Okay. And, you know, to me, I completely agree with Mo. I completely agree, Sheldon. And I'm very motivated just listening to KP just now as well. And, you know, Kyle, your story. And I would just say this, you know, guys, it is about always realizing that we need to branch out within the same field. Yeah. Get into something really new, get our feet wet, and learn no matter how old we get, you know. I mean, look, you're on this show, right? I'm happy to be on this show as well, to be frank, yeah? Together with Ayo, this is part and parcel of, in our humble opinion, we've already shot our 4th episode yesterday. This is the first episode of Kopi with Chris. And you are my first guests.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. So the IO itself has been, the views we've been getting has been great, you know. We've got great views on Spotify, on YouTube and Facebook, etc. So it's out there, right? So even guys like me, I'm 50 years old, and trying to do something different, it doesn't take a Mo. You're so right. I mean, you cannot take away the feeling of being on stage, right, and having an audience in front of you. But hey, we got to do what we got to do. You know, we got to do what we got to do. And this is where I'm so proud of the fact that, you know, I'm proud of Kyle Ravin. Oh. Let me put it here.
Thank you.
I'm very proud of Kyle.
Why out?
This guy, over the years, I've been quiet. You know, I sit quietly in the background and I watch people that I wouldn't want to say this openly. People that I had time to share with grow. And I sit on the sidelines and I look at all the social feeds and see what these guys have been up to. And Kyle has made waves, man. I'm very proud of this dude.
Thank you,
he's evolved. He's evolved so much. It's so wonderful to see, you know. And frankly, as far as I see this, he you know, guys like him, KP, and the rest of us here actually came together as an industry to do what we did last Saturday for the Star Show. You know, I tell you, that was marvelous. It was something I've always hoped that the industry could do just once for all these years, and it actually got done. That everybody got together, and the people behind this, I think Kyle, you're one of them. The people behind this, you know, I like to say thank you.
Yeah, great job, guys.
Really, you know, it's
I like
marvelous.
Your skit, that was great job too.
Yeah, man.
No skit was like the, you know, every time I watch the show or we go into the edit, when I'm trying to sleep, all I hear is boom putty, and I imagine Mo in his dress going boom putty boom like that. That's all I can think about, you know.
And it's like we watched the show so many times when we were rehearsing, right? But when we know it's more coming out, like even if you're going for a break, you throw it, you come back, okay, I want to watch.
Yeah.
You know what I said to my family? We were all watching it on the big screen. I said, oh, that's Moe Alkaff, and that is vintage Mo.
Yeah,
it was good. Vintage, man. I mean, it was like, oh, wow, so it all came back. Huh?
What's so funny was my friend, you all know Catherine, right? Catherine, the MC.
Which one? Catherine Yap?
Yeah.
Yep.
So her sons were watching. She's so proud of her boys. Her sons were watching. And then they were asking Catherine, asking their mom, who's that lady? Who's that lady? And she said, it's Moe. It's your Uncle Moe. And they went, no.
You got them all confused, man.
It was me. And I'm the uncle who always tell them, hey, listen, you got to go and hug a tree. So they went to go hug a tree for about 5 minutes.
So you know, I think it's time for all of us to really step up. I'm very pleased to actually hear, you know, someone who's been doing this for ages already, actually. You know, from Sheldon, the president of Star, the direction the association is taking, I think it's great. And hey, hello, over Kopi coming out from my mouth is a damn compliment, okay, brother?
but I gotta agree with you guys. You know, I mean, I think this whole Star Association thing, I think just this alone has been, well, we were talking about it since we were DJs, you know, in the late 70s, early 80s. We were saying we gotta have this organization. We gotta have some kind of control. We gotta have something where we can go and find help, you know, and we never could get it together until 5 years ago. So that's a great move. I mean, you know, this has never been done, and this is kudos to you all.
It's still a long and difficult journey. So I really, you know, I think that really now is kind of a lucky time that the silver lining in all of this is that it's brought a lot of prominence, and because of the work we've been doing in the past, that allowed us to push a lot of stuff through, give the feedback to the right people, and it has actually shown some results. But it's really about what we do after. You know, when the after is going to come, none of us can predict. Is it a couple of months down the road? Is it next year? Is this going to drag on? But I think it's really about everyone understanding that, you know, we're not here to try and control the market. It's really about how we can build the whole industry together so everybody can benefit.
And make it more recognizable, right?
Yeah, get more support, you know, and yeah, we can all go about doing what we do, but if there are some things that we can do to help everybody move together, then I think it leaves the industry in a much better place than when we started.
Yeah. Well, you know, if you take a look at what's been happening, the government has just allowed marriages, solemnization of marriages online. I mean, geez, I don't know when they say you can now kiss the bride. What do you do? Oh, she's over here, I'm over here. Then you, right? You know, I mean, you know, how do you exchange rings? You know, God knows. But that's food for thought, right? If today you're a wedding planner, or as an MC even, right? You can do virtual weddings. For example, you know, I mean, thinking out of the box, create something. Be innovative. Think about how we can work things so the next time we get hit with this, we know what to do. You know what I mean? We're prepared. So we have our safeguards in place. So I think that's important. I don't want to be
Sorry, I think it's not just the next time something like this happens. I think it's going to make people realize that, you know, even if people can't travel in, you can still get them involved, because the online space becomes viable now as an outreach medium. How do we integrate that to have already a room full of people celebrating? But you're saying, you know, we'll send you a video to the auntie that is maybe too sick to travel in to attend the wedding, but we can get everybody online. So a lot of this technology, how do you address an audience within the room as well as in an online space? Are they just watching kind of like a fly on the wall, or do you address them, you know, sort of you talk to cameras and the people in the room? And I think moving forward, not just weddings, but with a lot of events, you know, where maybe with conferences, and it's going to cost too much money just to fly an expert in. Let's have him in on video conference. And people are worried about that because prior to this, people didn't understand the technology, didn't understand what was involved. Now we are all on video conference. Everyone's now going to embrace that a lot more. It's going to change, right? Is it going to be that people will not travel anymore, or it just opens up more possibilities where before, if a guest speaker couldn't come in because of their schedule, okay, we take you off the program. But now you can still do that. You can have interactivity, you can have Q&A over boundaries, without boundaries. So it's really about.
I mean, even legal contracts can be signed. Legal contracts can be signed virtually. Sales are being done virtually these days.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be negative. I don't want to demotivate anyone. As a matter of fact, I hope this is going to be motivation for people to innovate in the industry. Let me tell you, man, this thing, live events, they're not going to come back till about July 2021. If you talk to the guys in the ticketing business, right, they will tell you that they've had their consultation and it's not going to happen, until July 2021, and that is at best. So we need to motivate ourselves to do more, to create something on in the virtual world, so that we can continue doing the things we love. And I think that's really, really important. Maybe, just maybe, Sheldon, since the president is here, I'm going to go and jaga Chan. Another star show.
Nice, huh?
Another star show.
Yeah.
Just before PCB is over, man. And this time, I'm gonna say this, guys. Sheldon, send a damn press release out to mainstream media.
Can I just say something? Can I say something? I've got to jump in, okay? Sheldon, don't mean to steal your thunder, bro. I approach this with caution. So I was watching this concert on TV on Channel 5. I forgot what it was called. Can someone help me with this?
It was called Forgettable. Yeah. So.
No, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad.
No, it wasn't that bad. Yeah.
It was that global.
Yeah.
Global something.
One World. Yeah. That's the one. So I see it. One World. And Lady Gaga goes on, and Elton John goes on, and all these amazing celebrities go on. And I go, oh my God, I want to put together a show like with a group of people. Like, let's get all these entertainers together and let's put together a show. So what I do is I get Sheldon on the line. I'm like, hey, Sheldon, I have this idea, bro. I want to do this show. I want to get this guy in, that guy in. And Sheldon tells me, okay, you call Ross and you call Rosley and you call KP and we put together this amazing team. Can I just say how bloody tiring it was to get 25 people to send in their videos and then sit down 3 times a week to rehearse? Oh my God, it was tough. But I have to say this, and KP nailed it right in. KP said it took a virus to bring us all together.
Yes.
Isn't that sickening?
I think that is really wonderful initiative, and it's made its mark. Even the guys who we work with at NTUC shared our video and commented that they felt inspired that as an industry we were doing something to kind of keep everybody's spirits up. I'm not sure if the team is up to doing a second edition because there's still so many talents that haven't been showcased. Just putting it out there,
and on that note, on Chris's note, on sending it out to mainstream media, I personally sat down and emailed over 50 journalists. And I had a press kit done and I got Sheldon to proofread it. I sent it to every single major news outlet in Singapore.
Right.
And I'm talking about newsrooms, hotlines, and individual journalists. I had one reply from a newspaper I will not mention. And they say, okay, this sounds great. We're going to escalate this. And then the next day was May Day. Nobody wants to work. Nobody wrote a story.
Well, that's the state of our mainstream media today. But don't worry. I'm glad Kyle said this on this show because any one of you online watching Kopi with Chris, let me tell you something. You don't know what the hell you missed because you should have got this in print. Sad. But then again, we lost nothing, did we? Yeah, we had a great time. Those who watched us, I think they had a great time. Yeah. We got together. It was unity that I've always wanted to see, and it was so good to just be involved in that as well. And I thank you guys for having me. And I just want to say this to everyone out there: entertainers, they do what many people can't. Pay them their dues. Pay them on time. Pay them for what they're worth. Hell, pay them, period. And we stepped up, did our part, and we will continue to do our part for our people, for the country, for the nation. And all of us should thank these guys for being resilient, brave, and still so full of life. And always be proud of our entertainers. These guys, they're not a dime a dozen, yeah? They go out there and they do everything they can to make sure you have a good time. And that includes our good people who risk their necks climbing up trusses and setting up trusses and, and setting up the sound crews. The guys who struggle over pleasing you, the client, and getting your program done right and conceptualizing for you. These people are important. So I'd like to put it out there as well, that I think it's time that the people in the events and entertainment business in Singapore get recognized. Yeah? And that is the reason why I also wanted to have this show, because I want to put it out there. Not just for us, but also for maybe even the musos. I'll be having some more episodes of musicians, maybe have a jam session over Zoom, I don't know. Well, thinking about the production. Yeah, I'm thinking about that. I think it's going to be so cool, Yeah. People who go out there and make sure that you sit down, have a drink, and have a nice time, but you're listening to their music, right? And and I'm glad to have this platform for you guys to come in and say your piece, And, Mr. Moe Alkaff, he's the most venerable person in this group here. Mo, is there anything you want to add?
Give me a break, will you?
Venerable youngster.
Yeah, venerable youngster, man. Fitter than most 30-year-olds. Come on.
Yeah.
You want to add anything?
Yeah, just one small little thing.
Sure.
I am really missing Singapore quite a bit. I mean, this is, I think, probably the longest I've been away from Singapore. It's been over 2 months already. And normally I'm back within a month or, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks. And I really miss Singapore. I miss being, at the Marine Parade area and all that. And most of all is I miss meeting up with everybody there. I so miss that social contact. I so miss that. So can you imagine how much I miss the stage at the moment? If I miss people, at least I miss the stage. And I'm sure all of you do. Yeah. And, like I said earlier, I think the best way to fight this is to have strong immunity. Otherwise, we can, I don't know. For me, yes, I know you want to talk about technology and so on and so forth, but still, we need the people. We need the touch. Yeah.
So continue to stay fit.
Yeah.
Do your static work at home even if you have to, right?
There you go.
That's the reason why I couldn't walk for the last 2 days,
I'm doing landscaping, I'm doing changkol, and I'm doing all kinds of stuff out there.
Yeah, and I'm having difficulty walking after squatting 120 times, yeah.
Yeah, what did you do that for?
Well, ask our mutual friend, you know who I'm talking about, because he just had to go do 1,000, right? So I did 120 and I can't walk for 2 days. Goodness.
Oh, I bet. Yeah. I tried doing squats with him when we first worked out together, and that's it. I was in bed for 3 days. I couldn't move. My legs were jelly.
But Mo's right, man. Keep your immunity going, man. Keep your immunity going. And any final words from you guys? Any message you want to deliver to the people watching?
I guess the message is a 3-word message that we've said over and over again, and we can't stress this enough. The 3 words are, we'll be back. Whether it's going to be online, but fingers crossed it's going to be on stage, because Mo is right. That feeling of having hundreds or maybe even thousands of people just looking up to you and your ability to just speak to them, let alone entertain them, is going to be fantastic. So we'll be back in one capacity or the other. For sure, 100%. And
hell yeah.
The question is,
with you all the way, buddy.
Hell yeah. The adrenaline, man. The adrenaline. Kyle?
I just have to say that whatever KP said was exactly what I thought we should end off with. It's just don't give up. We'll be back, lah. So I'm with my bro there, KP. Yeah, totally. We'll be back.
And we want to see you on stage again too, bro.
Oh, likewise.
I'd
love to see everyone. I'd love to. You know, I've done shows with everyone on this platform, with Moe, with Chris, with Sheldon at the side. You know, managing everything. I've done a show with KP. I cannot wait to do this again. Yeah.
Sheldon on the side. Well, you know something? Everything just came back to my head. Sheldon on the side. Yeah. Sheldon used to be at the side all the time.
Because when you don't see Sheldon over your right shoulder, then you're like, okay, is everything gonna sound good? Is it gonna look good? But the moment you see Sheldon, you're like, yeah, okay, this show's gonna rock.
That's why I always say this to people. You know, when we have Sheldon there, it's called zero defect AVL. No issues, man. No issues. Yeah, Sheldon, you have any messages, man?
I think similar in that we will be back. I think it's also an adage that we've been the industry has been saying all the time, is that the show must go on, you know, and that spirit is really about when there are any difficulties and any issues, somehow in that thick pressure of the moment, we still manage to get out of the situation and deliver that show. And this is one of those situations. It's a lot more severe than any hiccup on the stage. It's a lot more long drawn, but really, if we remember what has brought us thus far, is that the show must go on. And someday we will be back. The show will go on. You know, people need it. We need it. The audience needs it. It's a basic human need. And I'm just waiting that we can all get together and rock the stage once again.
And you know, it's a great honor to have you guys as my Kopi Kakis today. Thank you so very much for being with us.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
And my Kopi habis already.
Mine too, man. Habis, emptied.
It was a good conversation, though. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I think it was. I think it's been a great conversation, and you know, Moe, especially to Moe, thank you for spending your time, your night with us from the US. Really.
Thanks for having me, man.
No, thank you for agreeing to come into the show.
Thank you.
And the rest of you as well. Really, it's been an honor.
Thank you, Chris.
So thank you for having Kopi with me, and do join me again for the next episode of Kopi with Chris. Do also remember to like and subscribe. And until next time, I'm Chris Henson. Stay sane. Stay safe.